Hear how one UA group is striving to end human trafficking.
Find out how you can support student media.
And learn what the UA football team is up to this offseason. All this and more tonight on Wildcast.
This is Wildcast.
Welcome to Wildcast. I'm Max Efren.
And I'm Monique Padilla. Thanks for joining us tonight.
UA students are spreading awareness on human trafficking with a new club titled after the book that sparked its name and its mission. Reporter Caitlin Galante gives us an inside look.
Hi Wildcats! There's a new club on campus called Half the Sky that focuses on raising awareness on campus and in the community about human trafficking. Human trafficking is a very serious and dangerous issue that is happening throughout the world, and Half the Sky is getting the University of Arizona involved and informed on the matter.
Well, Half the Sky is a book and documentary. The documentary in the book is with the idea that women hold up half the sky. So the whole point of the book is to focus on women's oppression, and our focus of the club is really towards sex trafficking specifically. And that's really because we're a smaller club, we're just getting started, so we wanted to focus on one issue instead of getting a broad range of topics and being kind of overwhelmed with all the different causes we could focus towards.
Most students are unaware that human trafficking is happening right outside the university.
This is absolutely a relevant topic to members of U of A and members of the Tucson community. Just a few miles away from campus, women are getting picked up and coerced into the sex trafficking. I read an article the other day that a girl as young as 8 years old was found picked up from the street by law enforcers. So it's affecting everyone as young as 8 years old. That's ridiculous, and it needs to be stopped.
Students at the U of A, I think, should really know about this, and students everywhere, because people can be manipulated into sex trafficking without even realizing it.
Human trafficking is happening everywhere, even in Tucson. The club Half the Sky is coming up with ways to raise awareness in our community and keep the students informed about the issues happening in the world.
So we definitely want to get more people involved. I mean, 3 people is a good start, but we want to definitely expand. We want more people to care. We want passionate people, people who want to make a difference, and I'm sure there's plenty of people like that on campus. Goals are that we really want to maybe do like a percentage night, and that's like also a fun way, more like a social way to get people together and kind of talk about it, raise awareness.
Students can get involved by emailing uahalfthesky@gmail.com, and they can also follow our website, that's uahalfthesky.wordpress.com. Just really looking for anyone who wants to contribute to the cause and has skills that they think they can apply to the club.
I'm Caitlin Galante reporting for Wildcast.
For more information, go to uahalfthesky.wordpress.com or email them at uahalfthesky@gmail.com. If you heard and felt a boom this last Wednesday night, you're not alone. We heard from Kate and Barrett Baker of the Tucson Fire Department that they received over 100 calls from all throughout central Tucson at around 7:45 p.m. The strange eruption remained a mystery until late the next day when someone finally fessed up. Turns out a fighter jet from the Luke Air Force Base in Glendale broke the sound barrier during a training mission. The aircraft went supersonic just west of Kit Peak. According to a base spokesman, the pilot was allowed to go to such speeds in the area and was at an appropriate altitude to perform the stunt.
Whether you're looking to spread kindness or just pick up some feel-good community service hours, Ben's Bells is always open to anyone willing to help. Wildcast reporter Cassandra Manriquez tells us what this nonprofit is all about.
Ben's Boughs is well known as a faucet of kindness in the Tucson community. 200 Ben's Boughs are distributed monthly as a vehicle to embellish kindness throughout the community. In the past couple of years, there has been a new device used to spread kindness in town. Created and geared toward University of Arizona students, this new symbol is the Be Kind Step Up bracelet.
The bracelets are handmade by the community here in Tucson. U of A students participate, staff participates, as well as other volunteers in making these ceramic bracelets, and each one of them is individually numbered, so when someone gets a bracelet they get to keep it, and they pass that on when they see someone do a kind act, so when recognizing kindness in others, and they are able to pass their bracelet on, and then you can look up the numbers on the Be Kind Step Up website and find out where the kindness has been spread.
Ben's Pals has been working with the U of A for several years to spread kindness around campus. We've worked with UA Athletics and Campus Health. After visiting the Ben's Bells studio, Step Up member and senior athlete Megan Myers was inspired to work with the organization. and the Be Kind Step Up program snowballed from there.
Bystander intervention program, and it's about noticing events and just making a difference and stepping up to help others, and yeah, just it's about kindness, and it's about doing the right thing and preventing issues.
No matter how small, acts of kindness are being acknowledged on campus and in the Tucson community. 11,000 bracelets have been made to date, and at least 5,000 are circulating our community. Ultimately, receiving a bracelet is accomplished through a random act of kindness. Though if students would like to begin their own chain of kindness, they can do so by stopping by the Ben Spouse studio and purchasing a bracelet to pass along. Reporting from Ben Spouse, I'm Cassandra Manriquez for Wildcast.
Stay with us after the break for an update on the proposed student media fee.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your cat card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.
Big day for us here at UATV. Tomorrow is a big day for us here at UATV, as well as those at Camp Radio and the Wildcat. The two-day voting period for the new student media fee begins tomorrow. Reporter Jackie Kent has the details on the process.
A student featured in the Daily Wildcat School newspaper, which includes a description of why he is so involved in student media. But 4 sentences don't do justice to the bigger picture.
Save student media.
Sweet.
Thank you. Save student media.
Student media edges closer to the deadline to implement a new fee to raise funds for UATV3, Camp Student Radio, and the Daily Wildcat.
You're listening to Camp Student Radio, 1570 AM. You're listening to Jake Dimitri. Take it away.
Camp Student Radio implemented a similar $1 refundable fee 15 years ago. It is the primary source of camp's funding and will expire this year.
The Arizona Daily Wildcat and UATV also want in on to help with funding, since we're all kind of in a bad place right now. So we decided to up it to $3 so we can each put it in a pot, and hopefully we can each just pull from it, when we need it.
The best way that we can describe UATV's current funding situation is it doesn't really exist. With the money we have, we put together 2 very good shows. However, I would love for there to be more. And if we don't get the money, we'll probably just stay the same.
Arizona Student Media collected more than 3,500 undergraduate signatures to get this fee on the election ballot. Now they're spreading the word to secure what they need to be a majority vote during the general election.
I'm overall proud of everything that I've been able to do here, and I really hope that other people get the same experience that I do.
I have a lot of friends who are in it, and the experiences that they gain and the fields that they're trying to go into, there's nothing better than the practical experience it offers.
It's easy for us as people in college media to think that it's just going to support us, but I think supporting college media is really about supporting the U of A and supporting an open forum of discussion on campus.
These I Am Student Media bios allow the student body to see who they are supporting by voting yes on March 5th and 6th. From the Arizona campus for Wildcast, I'm Jackie Kent.
Yes on the student media fee on either March 5th or 6th at asua.arizona.edu.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be an intense 2 days for us as the votes start to come in.
Absolutely. I think we'll all be out there. If you want to come join us, we'll be on the mall.
Yeah, come check us out.
Cool. The University of Arizona's tree ring research program has finally found a new home after 75 years at the world's first laboratory dedicated to tree ring research. The Bryant Bannister Tree Ring Laboratory, located near the Highland Bowl and 6th Street Garage, held its grand opening on Saturday, inviting the public to take part in guided tours of the facility and hands-on activities with real tree ring specimens.
Well, I remember these tree rings from the big tree ring when I went to the University of Arizona in the 70s, and it was wonderful to know that they're back to be seen. It's great to see that the building and the exhibit actually reflects the importance of the studies that were done, and that this is going to allow to continue into future generations.
The Tree Ring program is the world's leading center devoted to dendrochronology, or tree ring dating. The facility is also dedicated to teaching both graduate and undergraduate students around the globe about the study and importance of tree rings.
Tucsonians gathered down 4th Street this past Sunday for the annual Forge on 4th event. The event is held every year by the Southern Arizona Mustang Club and is a day for Fords of all kinds to be displayed down several blocks of 4th Street. The cars chosen for the show were placed into specific categories, including Ford 1903 models, Lincoln Mercury 1957, Mustang 1973, and many more. The cars were showcased by their owners and crowds gathered to take a look. The day was filled with food, entertainment, and even a fundraiser that benefited the El Rio Healthcare Foundation and the Blake Foundation. The event, as always, was a hit, with Tucsonians from all over town coming down to 4th for a little vehicle appreciation.
After the break, see what new changes are in store for the lacrosse team as they strive to reach a larger audience.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
With an undefeated 5-0 outcome for the Fall Classic Tournament.
The Occupy movement is taking hold because of its strength in numbers.
Tonight is the absolute last night to ride the trolley, as it is closing for 2 years.
I'm sitting on what used to be known as Bear Down Field, which will soon be U of A's new practice field.
I'm Evan Murray, reporting from McHale Center with Wildcast.
The lacrosse team looks to recruit more players as it gains popularity around campus. Reporter Danielle Carpenter tells us more about how the team is hoping to gain more exposure.
Lacrosse is one of the most fastest growing sports here at U of A and all around the country. Lacrosse joined UA in 1963 and has gained a tremendous amount of popularity over the years.
Well, I think it's the up and down of the game. It's kind of like basketball. It's just a little different, but smaller ball. But it's the up and down of the game that's very exciting. Seeing these kids run up and down, the athletes, it's very graceful. And moving the ball around, the ball movement makes it very exciting.
They're really exciting. You know, it's a little quicker than football. It's a little more like basketball or hockey, and it's always going back and forth. And there's a lot of hitting, and it gets rough, so it's a good time.
So far, the team has won 2 and lost 2 games. They're set up to play in Canada on March 1st.
Really excited to go to Canada. It should be fun to, you know, play around in the cold, maybe some snow, and beat up on some Canucks.
The Lax Cats usually practice at Rincon Sports Complex, but the new field that tore up the south of 6th Street lot right next to the rec center will serve as the team's new home.
I think it's great if we can have a field that's closer to the campus. I think we can get more people coming to games and expose it more, but I'm just to have some concerns about it.
Reporting from Rincon Sports Complex, I'm Danielle Carpenter for Wildcast.
Where does U of A look for its football players? How do coaches decide who's the best fit for the team? Wildcast reporter Zanya Berryhill went out to find the answers to these questions.
The University of Arizona's football program takes pride in what they do. The guys that come on and play for the U of A are top-of-the-line, hard-working athletes. Each year they bring on about 25 to 35 new guys in hopes of bettering the program and winning a national championship. I sat down with recruiting coach Matt Judick and found out exactly how they weed out the best players for our program.
The better talent you get, you coach those guys up, and then hopefully you're going to the Rose Bowl. I mean, it's the most important thing for all college sports, for getting the right players to fit your program. I think that, there's a couple different spots. There's the slot receiver, which is the inside receiver, and then there's the outside receivers. I think that, the slot guy, one thing they're all going to be here at the University of Arizona is fast. Something that Coach Rodriguez wants is speed, speed, speed. You'll hear him talk about it all the time. So it's certainly something that we look for, is definitely a fast guy. And then, some people look for 6 foot plus, but, here at Arizona, we kind of look for a guy that just makes plays.
Where do they find these guys?
100%. We started Arizona. We want to lock down the state of Arizona, get the best players, the best and brightest in Arizona to come to the University of Arizona. And then we make our way out from there. The secondary place would probably be California. So if we can get all of our players every year from California and Arizona, we feel that we can win the Rose Bowl and a national championship here.
Hey there, Wildcats. I'm Zaina Berryhill here at South Point Catholic High School with superstar Cameron Denson. Maybe you heard of him. He is the #1 recruit in the state of Arizona and the 51st top recruit throughout the nation. Cameron has just committed to the University of Arizona for the 2014 football season. Let's hear what Cameron has to say about becoming a Wildcat.
It was good. It was a good feeling. They were actually the first letter I ever got and stuff like that. They were my first offer, so it was just good just to know that I could attend a school in my hometown, which the city will be behind me whatever I do. Like if I stay at home, it'll be behind me, and that's big. And also it's home. It's something I feel comfortable with, and then don't have to go too far to get a home cooked meal.
That's Cameron Denson, and I'm Zaina Berryhill, signing off with UATV.
University of Arizona's football team just started up their spring practice on Saturday. Wildcast reporter Devin Pate decided to look into what the team does to stay sharp during the off-season.
Excitement is in the air as Arizona's football stadium becomes closer and closer to making its fall debut. But what about the football team? Greg Byrne, Arizona's athletic director, explains his part in making the magic happen and what is going on for football in their off-season.
I personally take a lot of responsibility that a family has entrusted our university, our athletic department with their son or daughter. And that's something that I don't think you can just say, well, hope they do okay. We need to make sure there's discipline and structure and an environment that encourages them to succeed academically, athletically, and socially. You're going to succeed by the work you're putting in this time of year during the winter and the spring. The games are supposed to be the fun part. It's all the work that goes into it to prepare for the game. That's the challenging part, and trying to develop yourself the best you can.
Arizona's tight end, Ben Sullivan, tells us that even though the football season is over, Arizona football doesn't stop.
So in the spring, it's a lot of individual. We'll do a lot of footwork, hand placement, blocking drills. Sometimes we'll go the whole practice just doing individual drills for our specific position. And then in the fall, it's not all team, but it's a lot more team, a lot more insert our offense. See what guys are going to play what during the games and later on that fall.
With many hopes for the next football season, Greg Byrne's biggest message to the fans is to come to the games and stay the entire game.
And so I want to encourage all of our students, be there, be loud, and be there the entire game. And that will help our program. Each of you make a difference by doing that.
This semester, be sure to look out for Jesse Scroggins, a new Solman, and BJ Danker out on the field. Outside of the football stadium, I'm Devin Pate.
And now we turn it over to reporter Ashley Neville for a breakdown of Arizona's recent athletic highlights. Ashley?
17th ranked Arizona softball concluded the Wildcat Invitational with an 8-1 victory over Portland State to finish the event undefeated with 5 wins. The 15-5 Wildcats are back in action this weekend when they take on Boise State at home for a 3-game series. 10th ranked Arizona baseball clinched a 2-1 series victory over visiting San Francisco. In the first matchup, Brandon Dixon had a career high of 4 hits as teammate Trent Gilbert drove in 3 runs to bring Arizona to a 6-4 victory. Arizona rode the arm of James Ferris to a 5-2 win in the second game. San Francisco was able to avoid the sweep with a 9-2 victory over the Cats in the third game on Sunday. Arizona hosts Texas Tech for games on Tuesday and Wednesday. 15th-ranked Arizona women's gymnastics team had a career night on Saturday, posting 7 career-high scores, tying 5 personal record scores, and earning 2 season event bests for a season high of 196.5. Arizona will travel to Oklahoma, where they will take on the #1 team in the nation. Now, I wish I had some exciting news for the Arizona Wildcats basketball team, but they suffered back-to-back losses in California, one on Wednesday to USC and the other to UCLA this past Saturday. In their 89-78 loss to USC, Trojans forward Eric Wise was too much to handle as he scored 22 points to lead 5 USC players in double figures. Shockingly, the Wildcats were a bit more pleased with their 74-69 loss to UCLA. Why? Because they fought back. Grant Jarrett hit 4 3-pointers, Mark Lyons added 13 points, and Kevin Parham added 11. Arizona has lost 4 of its last 7 games and has only 1 game left in the regular season this Saturday against the Arizona State Sun Devils. The Wildcats will compete in the Pac-12 tournament next week in Las Vegas, where they sit in 4th place behind Oregon, UCLA, and California. How far will they go? Who knows? But if one thing is for sure, the Arizona Wildcats have a lot to prove. I'm Ashley Neville. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Ashley. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great spring break and be safe, Wildcats.
We'll see you in 2 weeks for another edition of Wildcast.